everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, April 13th, 2025. I'm just going to start out with a quick apology because my voice is wrecked. I got really sick this past week and was coughing like crazy, and it was just a really bad chest cold, and my voice is shot. I still have not fully recovered from it, and so I'm going to sound raspy today, which I know is annoying. I'm also going to be trying to cover it up with a cough drop, which I also know is annoying. So I'm sorry in advance for the quality of my voice this week. But, I mean, it was either do no Y&R chat or do it like this. And I have to talk this week right away, could not hold it in, about the case of Martin Laurent. The case of Martin Laurent is a case of careful what you wish for, I think, when it comes to the fans, because we fans have been predicting that Alan was Martin since the fateful day when he fell off the balcony in Paris. And instead of just accepting that Y&R had given Traci a wonderful, supportive relationship, finally, after all these years, we fans had to push. We had to speculate. And now this is what we get. A nightmare come true. It's really our fault if you get right down to it. Traci's pain is our fault. The writer said, oh, they think Alan is Martin? Well, then we're going to give him Martin. I feel so bad. I honestly feel worse for Traci than I do for Sharon and Phyllis. Maybe because I know Sharon and Phyllis are going to be okay. They've got each other. But, Traci's got no one. Well, that's not true. She's got Jack and Ashley, but no Alan. The love of her life, finally. And now he's gone. Why could there not at least have been a twist that kept Alan alive? Like tied up in the farmhouse or something. But I don't think that's possible. Maybe it is. I don't know. Is it totally out of the question that Alan could be tied up in the farmhouse right now? Chance said they searched the farmhouse. They were inside. They found the surveillance stuff. So I don't see how that's possible. Could Alan still be tied up in Paris? Why did Martin even go to Paris? Are we ever going to find out what the surprise was that he was preparing for Traci? Could it be Alan? Was he going to have some big reveal? I don't know. I'm gasping at straws now. Grasping at straws and gasping, literally. But I want it to be true. So I'm making it the poll question for this week. That's my little bit of rebellion against it all. Poll question for this week at yrchat.com. Is Alan still alive somehow? Or can we just rule that out? I don't know. Go cast your vote. I'm curious. Man, when Martin came back, he was more obviously Martin than when he left. All the suspicion was like a cloud hanging over him that couldn't be unseen. He actually came back early, and Traci wasn't expecting him. He just came through the door like, honey, I'm home. And Traci was left scrambling. She decided to test him by saying that she wanted to postpone the wedding, that it was all just moving too fast, and she wanted some more time to plan, to take it easy, to get to know each other. She had 2 failed marriages in the past. Brad, which never really seemed like it was going to work, and Steve, which worked for 20 years, and then when that ended, it left her blindsided. It was all very reasonable what she was asking. And Alan would have understood that. But Martin did not. Martin was suspicious. He knew something was off in her demeanor, that she was seeing him differently, that something had changed between them. And so they argued. They argued like they've never argued. And she was scared. For the first time, Traci was scared of the man she loves. Ugh. So she pocket dialed Jack. Hey, how about that? Those long, flowy robe cardigans that she is famous for wearing came right in handy. We could see the blue light of her phone glowing as she dialed Jack. That is some phone skill right there. I was impressed. I mean, reaching into your pocket, not seeing the phone, doing the passcode, finding your contacts, scrolling all the way down to J for Jack, hitting the dial, and doing the whole thing without raising suspicion at all. Way to go, Traci. Jack and Ashley showed up at the door just in time. And it was interesting that Martin didn't really try to cover it up. He was very open about the fact that they were arguing and that there might not be a wedding now. And then he and Traci basically continued to argue right in front of Ashley and Jack until he left. And then as soon as he left, Ashley said, "Honey, I'm sorry, but that is not Alan. I have known Alan a long time, and that's not him. That's Martin. That's the monster that abused me." I wish we could have had some flashbacks of that, because honestly, I don't even remember what Martin did to Ashley exactly. I think he spurred on the whole the triple personality thing, and then he was violent with her in Paris. I remember that. Ashley was terrified of him, and she was terrified coming face to face with him again, and she was feeling guilty too. She's the one that brought Alan into their lives. Traci was also feeling guilty and heartbroken. Ugh, not good. After Martin left the hotel room, he went downstairs to the dining room to look at the menu. Just, whole life just blew up. Gotta have something to eat. And that's when he ran into Chance. Chance just so happened to be there, just so happened to see him, and decided to just so happened to question him about the farmhouse that was rented under the name of the psych ward in Paris, which is weird and obvious. Why would he do that? Well, Martin denied everything. Traci came down the stairs and said, "Tell me who you are. I want you to tell me who you are right now if you ever cared about me." He continued to deny it, and then he decided to follow Chance down to the station for questioning. Might as well. And they were there. Chance questioned him. Nothing changed. Until Chance decided, you know what? Let's let Phyllis and Sharon in here to deal with him. No one could handle the intense pressure of dealing with Sharon and Phyllis going at it in the same room. Even a saint would break under that pressure. I feel like they could be onto something at the GCPD. Forget the formal interrogations from now on. The GCPD can just fire their entire interrogation team. From now on, just throw Sharon and Phyllis into the room and wait for the confession. That seems like a perfectly reasonable idea. And an entertaining one. Because it was pretty great. Sharon and Phyllis got to have their say in their matching shades of blue. So pretty. Sharon tried to reverse psychology him. And Phyllis, I loved the moment when Phyllis slid the water bottle across the table. Drink it. You afraid it's poisoned? Well, what ended up happening was more and more Martin found himself defending Martin. Martin was defending Martin as Alan, and eventually his ego tripped him up. Alan had the degree, Alan had all the accolades, but I was the genius one. I was the one who facilitated Ashley's breakthrough. And admit it, Sharon and Phyllis, didn't it work for you too? Yeah, that was the turning point. He acknowledged that the purpose of the experiment and of everything that he did was to try to have them have a breakthrough. He admitted the purpose of the experiment and that he had knowledge that it worked. And it did work. That's the truth. Phyllis and Sharon denied it. They put on a really good show just to tick him off, but it did work. They're practically best friends now. But they told him, no, we hate each other even more now. And then they put on this fake fight right in front of him until he couldn't take it anymore and basically confessed. Way to go, girls. Way to go. You tricked the madman into a confession, and in the most hilarious way, in a very Phyllis and Sharon way. They left Chance to slap on the cuffs, and presumably haul him away forever. But I don't know. Even if Alan is dead, I still don't think it's all totally over yet. I think that Traci's surely gonna pay him a visit in prison at the very least, right? And maybe, who knows? Maybe he'll break out of prison. That's a possibility too. Maybe he'll break out of prison in time to cause some drama at the Abbott house new carpet and couch reveal. When's that gonna happen? Because honestly, guys, the longer it takes, the more worried I'm becoming. Hero of the week, Chance Chancellor. I mean, in my book. He solved the crime and put an end to that relationship with Summer that wasn't happening anyway. This week, he and Summer finally had a serious talk about their relationship. Can you even believe it took them this long? I honestly had completely forgotten that they were still trying. Chance is so down to earth in his relationships, and I really do appreciate that about him. He said, Summer, let's just be honest. You're jealous. You're jealous of Claire. And not because of her new place in the family, not because Harrison likes her. It's because she's with Kyle. And Summer, to her credit, didn't deny it. She admitted it. She said, yes, I'm jealous, okay? And then she took a big swig of her lemon swirl martini and said, felt good to get that out. No need to pretend I'm moved on anymore. I'm free to try to seduce Kyle now. Oh, Kyle and Claire are doomed. Doomed. Summer wants him. And now Victor wants Audra to pretend that she wants him. How can this poor doof survive the combined sex power of Summer and Audra? There's no way. No way. But maybe not for the reasons we think. I mean, I don't think there's any way Kyle is going to let himself be seduced by either of them. The only way that it could possibly happen is if Audra stages it to look like something's going on between them, And to do that, she might just need a little help from her Metallica and Margarita night buddy, Holden. Now it all makes sense. That's the only way this works out. Audra stages it. Holden brings Claire in to see it. Kyle's upset. Summer picks up the pieces. Audra and Holden just have to double team together to make sure Claire sees something. And Claire's going to buy it. Because the seeds of doubt were already planted this week. Kyle tried keeping a secret from Claire this week. He didn't want to tell her that he and Jack are suspicious that Victor has a spy at Jabot. And she could sense that he wasn't being honest. And she didn't like it. She pressed him on it. And he eventually told the truth. But it bothered her that he would keep that from her. That he would feel like he needed to. And, on Friday, when Kyle asked Claire to move in together, she asked him, "Are you sure you're not just doing this, asking me this, to get under my grandfather's skin? To rub our relationship in his face?" Ooh. He denied it, of course, but I mean, she didn't jump at the idea. I feel like a month ago, Claire would have leapt at the opportunity to move in with Kyle, especially in their own place. And now she's being really cautious. I would like to think that Claire would be smarter than to fall for some kind of obvious setup. I would like to think that she'd ask some questions after she sees what she sees and then, I don't know, trust in what they have together. But the truth is, it's already slowly degrading under the pressure that Victor has put on them. And it's a pressure which Victoria knows about, and maybe that Victoria will be able to suss out. Victoria was at the ranch on Friday when Audra showed up to negotiate, and I have to say, Audra was pretty smart to not just accept some kind of temporary job out of the deal with Victor. Maybe the talk with Sally gave her some pause. I don't know. Sally, the good friend, pulled no punches. She reminded Audra that doing business with Victor Newman is a losing proposition and that she's risking her relationship with Nate over it. So, if Audra is going to go through with it, she's at least going to get funding for a new company out of it. Sweet. Glissade 2.0. I thought Audra had a lot of good ideas in there. So, I don't know, maybe it'll turn out she'll get a new company and good for her. Good for her, I guess. But there's always a chance that Victoria will figure all of this out before it gets that far. I mean, she took one look at Audra showing up at the ranch in her sexy white dress and pale pink trench coat, and Victoria was like, something's up here. But will she figure it out fast enough? Maybe. She's got some extra time on her hands now that Cole is doing all of that traveling for Newman Enterprises publishing division. Sometimes perfect can be the enemy of the good. Who said that? It's kind of a great line. Sometimes perfect can be the enemy of the good. Ooh, if you think you know, you should go to yrchat.com to find out if you're right. And while you're at yrchat.com, maybe you could give some birthday wishes, because apparently April is birthday month. Diana's birthday is April 17th, so that's Thursday. Yay, Diana! I know you're going to have a beautiful birthday. You seem like the kind of person who is surrounded by people who love you, and I'm sure you're going to have a lovely day. And there's Jamie, whose birthday is on the 19th, and that's Saturday. Jamie, I haven't heard from you in a little while, but I sure do miss you. I can't believe I haven't heard your comments on Phyllis as of late. Oh my goodness. On your birthday, please do me a wish and come tell me how you're feeling about Phyllis right now. Oh, happy birthday, you two. I forgot to say, I meant to say this last week, but if you have a birthday that you would like to have shouted out, yrchat.com/birthdays is where you can enter it. And now I'm going to read some comments. Starting with Victoria, who says, Victor can add pimp with no seduction to his impressive resume. Oh, burn, Victoria. Pimp. Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, it's not a good look on Victor that he would even come up with this idea. And it's not a very good look on Audra that she would agree to it. Russell says, Sally was the voice of reason when she questioned how Audra could even consider messing up Kyle and Claire's situation to run a Newman division and be under Victor's control. All of that sounds like a bad idea. Not to mention, messing with Kyle will undoubtedly risk her relationship with Nate. Her relationship with Nate has made her a better woman, and she obviously loves him. Sorry, Allie. No, I think Audra and Nate's relationship has grown on me, and you're right. I don't know why she's risking it. She was at least smart enough to not do it for a Newman division. I mean, yeah, that would have been like, okay, whatever. Victor's going to be done with you as soon as you've done what he wants. So at least she got some funding out of it. But you're right. Sally really was the voice of reason. I liked her voice there. I liked her saying, well, does Claire really deserve this? I'm telling, what do you want me to be? You want me to listen or do you want me to speak? Because if I'm going to speak, I'm going to tell you this is a bad idea. Gary says, just because Kyle and Claire come from feuding families, I don't especially see them as Romeo and Juliet. They are just a little bit boring. Yeah, Gary, I was thinking this week they were getting a little bit repetitive when the whipped cream came out again, and he was being so like, oh, I want to see you. I can't believe I had to be away from you for 5 minutes. Were you thinking of me last night? Like, Kyle was very clingy this week. She was right to be like, I think I'll keep my personal space for a little bit longer. Clearly, he has to be all in on a relationship, and then he'll move on when he moves on. But yeah, I mean, Kyle and Claire aren't exactly super duper crazy, passion, exciting. They're cute. I guess that's what they're supposed to be. T. Nicole says, why do I feel if Kyle and Jack play dirty as payback to Victor when they can confirm Victor's the one who has a spy in Jabot, Claire will be upset at Kyle for doing so, but barely give her grandfather a slap on the wrist for putting a spy in her boyfriend's company to destroy it. Yeah, T. Nicole, isn't that the way? Victor always gets away with it. Victor always skates off scot-free. Nobody's questioning him. But you're right. Kyle will pay the price for that lie, not Victor. That's a great point. Victoria says, since the poisoning of Jordan, Claire has become bold. At Society, she put Kyle on the spot about what he was hiding. Claire asked him to tell her what's occupying his mind. When Kyle didn't tell her, she called him on his evasion. Hesitantly, Kyle mentioned a spy at Jabot. He didn't tell her about his suspicions of Victor. In Kyle's defense, he wasn't obligated to tell Claire because it truly wasn't her business. Yeah, Victoria, I didn't even think about that. You're right. He didn't have to tell her. He maybe didn't have to bring it up at all. He wasn't very good at hiding it at all. She was able to quickly guess that he was hiding something. No poker face on that one. Kyle has no poker face, apparently. But you also make a good point that she's changed a lot just since the poisoning of Jordan. She's become bold. Yeah, I think so. And yet at the same time, not. And at the same time, she still comes off as very meh. Oh, let me look at last week's poll. Billy and Sally, or Billy and Phyllis. I'm honestly kind of surprised 53% chose Billy and Sally. It's so weird because I feel like the most of the comments that I receive are people saying Billy and Sally don't have the chemistry and thinking that Billy and Phyllis would be a better pair. Sue W says, though, I like Billy with Sally because Billy slept with Summer. And ew, that just wipes out any further relationship with Phyllis ever. Oh my. I completely forgot about that. Well, I mean, not completely, but I didn't connect that into a reason why Billy and Phyllis can't be together. But you're right. That was really bad. You're right. That's so bad. There was also the other Phyllis, Gina Tognoni. So I guess it's easier for me to forget. Tony says, well, I haven't seen any chemistry between Billy and Sally. Billy and other Phyllis had chemistry. Not really with this Phyllis. And we have a new guy coming to town. If they pair new guy with Sally, she is not as much of a core character as Phyllis, so it won't be as impactful. So that would be Phyllis and the new character and leave Sally with Billy, and that's okay. But P.S. I'm still hoping for a Billy Victoria reunion to somehow be written. Wow, there was so much there. Oh, yeah, I mean, this Billy and this Phyllis haven't been together, so, I mean, there is that. But I think you're right. There's going to be a new guy coming on, and I kind of wonder if your Billy and Victoria reunion could be a possibility since Cole is so clearly gone. Astra says, I enjoy Billy and Sally, especially after she designed his place. That was a nice bonding moment between the two of them. I just wish Billy hadn't been so out for revenge because I think that's what's going to lose Sally. I feel like Billy doesn't truly appreciate the woman he has until it's too late. And I hope it's different with Sally. I know they are a rebound relationship, but I personally think they have better chemistry than Billy and Chelsea ever did. Oh, that's true. That's true, Astra. Yes, I like your perspective here. And the fact that you say Billy doesn't truly appreciate the woman until it's too late. That is so true. Steven says, how will Phyllis's growing infatuation for Sharon play out? Or Nick's wish for a re-reconciliation? How will Sharon respond? The title for the storyline? Desperately Seeking Sharon. Whoa, yeah. What if Phyllis and Nick are competing for Sharon's affection? That would be crazy. Victoria says, what an episode today. I was on the edge of my seat. Martin almost convinced me that he really was Alan. It was believable he had no idea what Traci and Chance were accusing him of. As more evidence became clear to Traci, her realization of the consequences of bringing Martin to GC were heartbreaking. At the police station, Sharon and Phyllis took Martin down to size. It was glorious to watch them crack through his facade and hear him admit he was Martin. Wow, Sharon and Phyllis have been the best pairing since Victor and Nikki. Y&R, thank you for today. However, I am asking for one more thing. Please let Alan escape his prison to be united with his beloved Traci. Yes. I know, me too. Me too. Daisy says Alan may still be alive. I don't remember any officials saying Martin had died. So when Martin and Alan fell over the railing, maybe Martin ran off and Alan covered up for him saying he died. Woo! Yes, that would be the perfect hole, or it would fill the hole of this. That's a perfect way to do it. Alan lied. Martin was alive all along, and he paid the price because now he's being tied up in the farmhouse. That's what I think anyway. I love it. Thank you, Daisy. Naomi says the actor playing Alan/Martin was really good in Thursday's episode. The plot makes no sense to me, but as Sue W. will point up, the acting is what makes the silliness palpable. Yes, yes, yes. Agreed. Sharon W. says Traci enumerated the differences she saw in Alan's behavior while talking to Jack and Ashley in her hotel room, further proof that Alan and Martin are both alive. Meanwhile, Martin is keeping Alan drugged and a prisoner at a secret location. Yeah, the faith is still there. I can feel it. The faith is still there for the fans. T. Nicole says, Traci, you truly are an intelligent woman, knowing to call Jack secretly from her pocket. How many times do we say that these characters just need to record these bad guys' confessions with their phones discreetly and then give it to the police? Traci's just the best. Agreed. Victoria says, exactly my thoughts. Traci is so savvy. Victor's security team would do well to take lessons from Traci. Ooh. Don't let Victor hear you say that, Victoria. Connie says, last week I commented about the sleeves worn by Sally and Phyllis being unsanitary germ collectors and the ew factor they bring to my mind. My fashionista eye noticed Ashley wearing them this week. So I put on my teacher hat and did some Googling and discovered that the sleeve designs are called thumb holsters. Who knew that Y&R would give me this teachable moment? And I may be retired from my kindergarten world, but wash your hands is still my daily reminder to all. Yes, Connie, dang. I hate the thumb holsters. I hate cutouts in clothes in general. For some reason, I don't like to see a hole in the middle of a garment at all, ever. But the thumb holsters thing, I mean, I feel like it's, I don't even know where it started. But actually, no, Victoria knows where it started. She said, thumb holes started in outdoor clothes as an effort to keep the hands warm. Now I see fashion designers have progressed them into a very sheer thin material. The thumb holes help the fabric keep it shaped and not roll up. But hand washing would definitely require some maneuvering, not unlike jumpsuits when nature calls. Oh man, yes. So they make thumb holsters. They started for outdoor wear, and that's totally practical. But they've moved into a fashion statement. I'll add that Phyllis was wearing one too. And I mean, it seems like juvenile to me, like I've just fiddled so much with my shirt that I've worn a hole in the sleeve of it, and now I'm gonna just go with it as fashion. I don't know though. Fashion is so subjective, or is it objective? It's so subjective. So I don't know. What I don't like, what you don't like, may be something that somebody else loves. So I don't know. Let's try this one. Russell says, what do y'all think about Audra's white sleeveless shoulder padded outfit that she wore to meet with Sally? I don't think I've ever seen that combination. It seemed a little thick above her shoulder to me. Naomi says, Audra's shoulder line is reminiscent of when teen girls rolled up the sleeves of the t-shirt and then tuck it under the shoulder to avoid a farmer tan. Yes. Yes. Or like when you roll in Greece, you roll up the cigarette pack into your sleeve. Yeah, it was a weird roll-up sleeve. Really, really weird. And the other weird fashion of the week. I'll start with this though. Russell says, I guess every one of Sharon's tops has a sparkle feature. And I feel that's a really great observation because all Sharon's tops do sparkle. But this week's sparkly button-up, it was beautiful. I mean, it was beautiful. But I'll let Connie drop the hammer here. What was up with Sharon's pants? Are they just the wrong size? Or mom jeans styling? I did love the blouse. OMG, these are the questions that need to be asked. Victoria says wide leg pants are back in style. They're present on most shows. I've even seen pleated front pants which makes everyone look heavier. Skinny pants are fading away. You know, it's true. The pants, you guys, the pants that Sharon was wearing. I know every single one of you saw it. You all saw that the pants looked gigantic on her. And she's thin and beautiful enough to wear, I mean, like you can, if you're super thin, you can wear these baggy clothes and it doesn't like show on you. But the cut of the pants was baggy, like all in the middle section where usually you're trying to slender yourself up, you know? That midsection area, like where, you know, where like the belly meets the top of the legs, and it's just, you need to, that's usually there you want to de-emphasize, and it was all emphasized on Sharon this week. Oh, man. That was definitely a fashion bust. Oh, you guys. I am so dry and yet so gooey all at the same time. I'm tired. I can't fully catch my breath. But I feel better. I really feel better. It's just the last lingering bits of it. I'm sure that I will have had a complete recovery by next Sunday. But I said that last Sunday, so let's just be hopeful. Okay, yrchat.com is the website where all the stuff is. The secondary website where all the stuff is genoacitysoap.com if you want some extra podcasts. Other than that, I just hope you guys have a really good week, and I love you, and I will see you next time. Bye.